Hi, I'm David. I own and operate Country Whatnot Gardens here outside of Rochester, Indiana, which is about an hour south of the Michigan state line. I grow 25 different species and varieties of bamboo. And here, these four plants are all Phyllostachys parvifolia that were set in late October, early November. That's our digging season here for Phyllostachys species. They go through winter real fine. I know you can't see it probably from clear over there, but there are actually some green leaves left on that parvifolia plant. And I get asked quite a bit, how many bamboo plants do I need? What's the spacing? And the answer to that is, on your larger bamboo like this, is 5 foot or greater spacing on center, no closer than 5 foot. How long is that going to take to fill in? Usually they're going to sit there for close to 3 years and do merely nothing. You know, the old saying, first year it sleeps, second year it creeps, third year it leaps, right? And that applies to bamboo. So you're going to have the 5 foot spacing. You're going to have maybe 4 to 5 years to fill in on most of the species. And if you go to 10 feet, then you're probably looking at maybe 7 years. You can see that older grove of parvifolia right there that's maybe 18 feet long. It has been there for better than 8 years. And parvifolia is one of the slower Phyllostachys species for me. It's not as slow as Phyllostachys erosicata harbin. Harbin is just painfully slow. Put it that way. I've had my harbin for 15 years and that's still a tiny little plot. But this one does grow a little bit faster than that. This is one of only 2 species we can grow here that's classified as a timber bamboo. The other one is Phyllostachys atravaginata, incense bamboo. And it grows a little bit faster than parvifolia, I found. Next question I get a lot is, how much space do I need? People a lot of times want to cram a really big bamboo into a small space, like say 5 by 10, 5 by 20. That's not really going to work for the big guys here, because bamboo grows according to its footprint. If you can put a barrier in, that's great, but I would still recommend a minimum of 300 square foot bed size for these larger species, because they need room to grow. Those roots need room to expand without stretching out that barrier and pressing on it, putting a lot of stress on it. Again, that barrier goes in the ground. If you're allowing this to just grow out here like I do and maintain it by mowing, then you've got to take root zone into consideration. This bamboo is capable of getting upwards of 35, 40 foot tall. So that means the roots, live roots in the ground, can come out from the edge of the grove outward around all sides as far as the tallest culm is high. So you've got 40 foot of root zone out beyond this grove yet if you don't put a barrier in. So counting a space to put it, say, can I put it in my backyard if I have a small town or suburban backyard? Answer is probably not, at least not without a barrier, a really big bed to put that barrier around, because you've got a lot of root zone to account for. People think, okay, well, I've got 5 foot by 20 foot or whatever. I can put a big bamboo there. I've got 5 foot by 20 foot I can devote to it. Okay, but what about what about that 40 foot root zone out beyond that grove? You don't have space for that if you have a small backyard, which means you need to put in a barrier. And again, how many plants can you put in that barrier? No more than 5 foot on center, whatever spacing, however much room you have, no more plants than that. A lot of times, a 300 square foot bed, I would say no more than 1 plant, honestly, if it's these big ones. If it's a smaller mid-sized bamboo, like a Hibano bambusa or something like that, then you could get away with a couple more plants. But by and large, people want the big stuff that looks like bamboo instead of the smaller mid-sized stuff, because they want that classic bamboo look. And these plants here are about, those two there are about 25 feet apart. These two might be a hair bit further. But you can see it's going to take, you know, like that grove there, a good 8 years or more for these to fill in. Everybody thinks bamboo's super quick, super fast. And yeah, it does have fast growth in the spring once it's established. It has to build that root system first. Until then, you can expect small growth and honestly slow growth. Yes, true, bamboo culms do reach their full size, however big they're going to get, in 6 weeks in the spring. However big that shoot is going to get, it's going to reach that size in 6 weeks. Are you going to be able to plant a plant and have it this year or next year put up a shoot in 6 weeks that's 40 foot tall? No, because that plant doesn't have a root system to support or sustain growth that big. So bamboo does take time, contrary to popular belief. I know that may be hard to believe, that something can come up and grow, you know, full size in 6 weeks. Like when this grove is mature, it could reach upwards of 30 feet, close to 40. I don't know if it will in this climate, but it would under optimal conditions. From the time they come out of the ground to the time they're full size and hardened off, 35 to 40 feet in 6 weeks. But that's only once that grove is mature. Until then, you're waiting on it to get mature, to build a root system, to get enough root system built up to where it can take up enough nutrients and have enough stability underground to support and physically, structurally support culms that size. So bamboo's not instant, contrary to popular belief. And you can't take just one culm after another and stick them in the ground at 1 foot intervals for instant gratification, because those root balls on those culms are going to compete with one another too much until they're established, and you will get nowhere. So minimum of 5 feet. You need 5 feet or greater between them. That's why these are at over 20, 25 feet or more apart, because I want them to have a good chance. Now, can you go 5 foot, 10 foot? Yeah, you can. But frankly, it's a slow growing species, and I don't have that many to spare off of it yet. So I couldn't go every 5 feet clear through this whole area. But anyway, that has been a look at spacing on bamboo, how to figure how many you need. And I hope that helps answer some questions that have been out there I've seen. And thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Until next time, please give me a like, subscribe, and share. I'd really appreciate it. Take care. Bye.